Okay, guys, so this is 12.1. We're going to be graphing on the coordinate plane. That's your standard and your objective to be able to locate and also name points in the coordinate plane. Again, with always an 80% accuracy or higher, given the practice problems on your Freckle or your book or any other homework that you get. A lot of vocabulary, so let's just quickly go over that. So the coordinate plane is basically this. Okay, so it's a flat surface formed by two intersecting lines. So we have the x-axis and the y-axis, and they intersect perpendicularly. And so again, horizontal is called the x-axis, the vertical is the y-axis, and then axis is basically the two perpendicular lines, and they're perpendicular because they form a 90-degree angles all around. And so by their intersection, they form the coordinate plane. Okay, they intersect at the origin, which is this right here, the center. Okay, where everything starts, origin. Think about that, and that's the order pair is 0, 0. The x-axis is the horizontal line, I already said, and that this is important for you to remember that it is an independent variable. And the y-axis is the vertical and is a dependent variable. Okay, a way to remember this is think about the alphabet x, y. Think about mommy comes before the baby, so mommy is going to be the x, which is independent, right, more than the baby, and then baby, it depends on the mommy. So that's something that maybe can help you remember. The origin is basically the point of intersection between the x and the y-axis, so again, right there. And then the quadrants, they are 4. Think about quarters, 4 quarters in a dollar, so quadrant, right, cuatro. So the quadrants are each of the regions or the sections created by the intersecting lines of the x and the y-axis. Okay, and so we have quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. They go counterclockwise. So remember that you need to remember that starts here, then it goes around this way. Okay, order pair is basically a pair of the numbers given the location of the point on the coordinate plane. It's x, y. Again, think about alphabet x before the y. So you run before you jump. Okay, that's how we go, because the x goes sideways and the y goes up and down. So you run before you jump, or you dive, right? You jump before you go down into the water. You don't jump and then run in the air, or you don't dive into the water and then run in the water, right? Coordinates are basically the numbers in order pair. So we have the x coordinate and the y coordinate, the x value and the y value. And then lastly, scale is basically the scale of an axis is the number of units that each grid line represents. So it's also known as increments. So in this case, for instance, each one of these increments, the scale is 2, right? Because you go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The same way right here. If I were to have 20 over here, then it will be 4 each. Okay. So that's for that. Just again reviewing, this whole thing is the coordinate plane. It looks more like this. It's graph. Okay, it's a graphed paper or lines, graph papered lines. And again, you have the x-axis, the y-axis, quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4, order pair, right? Order created by with an x and a y value. The origin starts right there, and this whole thing is the coordinate plane. Okay, so we're just gonna quickly go over graphing and locating points on the coordinate plane. So the first thing is to find the x value or locate it. And again, just remember your number line. When you have a number line, anything to the right of 0 is basically positive. So the same thing that it's telling you right here. It just says origin, which is the same thing as root 0. And then if it's negative, it's going to be on the left side. For the y, if it's positive, it's going to be above the 0 line. Okay, so think about altitude. Above the origin. And if it's anything negative, the y is negative, it's going to be below the origin. Okay, so basically underwater. Okay, so let's go over finding and graphing order pairs, and then I'll give you some to do. So again, remember we want x, y always, because if we don't have that, we're gonna get it wrong. Okay, so let's locate point A. We call this A, let's call this B, C, and D. Okay, so point A, so remember I'm gonna run before I jump. Okay, so how many did I run? I ran 3, comma, okay, and then I jump 5. Okay, so 3, 5 right there. Okay, okay, so that's A. And then this one, I'm going to the left, and that tells me right there it's -4. So my x value is -4. And then how much did I jump? I jumped up 2. And again, it's positive because it's passing these lines. Positive, positive, negative, negative. Okay? On this one right here, I ran 2 to the left, so that's a -2. And I went down 3. So that's a -3. Okay? On this one, I ran 6. And I went down 2, so that's a -2. Okay, so just so you can remember this one, my x is positive, and then my y is positive on this one. Okay, if this helps you a little bit more, then you can do it this way, but this is the actual way to write it. On this one right here, we have a -x, but we have a positive y. Okay, on this section right here, this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2. I should use Roman numerals. Okay, for quadrant 3, we have a -x and a -y. Okay, because remember, left side negative, down negative as well. And then on this one right here, we have a positive x and a -y. Okay, and this is quadrant number 4. Okay, again, if you want to use that, remember that. This comma negative, and this is positive comma negative. Okay, so let me go ahead and graph a few and then give you some to do. Okay, so let me go ahead and graph those for you. This ones can be a little complicated or tricky, I guess. So this one, I'm not going anywhere, so I'm not running anywhere, but I'm going up 3, so I'm gonna go here. That's A. Okay, this one I'm running to the left because it's -5, but I'm not jumping up or diving down, so that's B. This one I'm gonna run 3 and go down 5. That's C. This one I'm gonna go to the left 2, and I'm gonna go up 4. That's G. And then E, I run 1, go up 2, that's B. And then F, I'm gonna go to the left 3 because -3 on my x. Remember, it's x comma y. So I'm gonna go my x -3, and I'm gonna go -8. So I'm gonna go down 8. So right here, and that will be my f. Okay, so let me give you some to do so you can practice. Okay, so this one's you're gonna locate the points and tell me the order pair. Remember, we do x comma y, so run before you jump. If it's going this way, it's positive. If it's going that way, it's negative. If it's going up, positive, negative. So go ahead and give me the order pair for A, for B, for C, for D, for E, and for F. Alrighty, God bless you. Bye. Got this.